Well, I feel like, man, whatever you do wrong must come back around in a circle. Just like, you know what I'm talking about? If you did wrong and everybody know it's blatant, the truth is out in the open. You sent that type of energy towards the young Dolph way, and you got no young Dolph knocked off. I talked to Govan. I did an interview with Hernandez Govan, the dude who set the whole, supposedly, you know what I'm saying, Dolph murder.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
Go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me just about what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back, you know.
Looks like CMG is crumbling right before our eyes. For years, people whispered about cracks in Yo Gotti's empire, but now those whispers just exploded into straight-up alarms. Stan G, one of the most tapped-in voices from Memphis, sat down on No Jumper and dropped a bombshell that had the streets buzzing. He basically said out loud what everyone's been too scared to even whisper. Yo Gotti might actually line up his own artist, Blac Youngsta, and this ain't no messy rumor from random trolls online. This is coming from someone who's face-to-face with the streets every single day, someone who's interviewed the same people tied to Young Dolph's case. That means this isn't just entertainment, it's a real warning. When Stan G hit that No Jumper interview, he didn't hold back for a second. He came right out and said it. The same energy Yo Gotti put on Young Dolph is what got him slayed.
When I put out a story, the other day I put out a story, Young Mob had ended up catching a Rico, you know what I'm talking about? And I put out a story. An hour later, the news ran the same story.
And if Gotti was willing to take it that far with an enemy, what makes anyone think he wouldn't flip the same switch on someone in his own crew if things got messy? Stan G went even deeper, calling Blac Youngsta a straight-up soldier, the one Gotti would send to do the wild, reckless moves other rappers wouldn't dare touch. At first, that made CMG stay buzzing with all the beefs and crazy visuals, but now, with the Dolph case still casting a heavy shadow, that same role makes Youngsta look less like an asset and more like a dangerous liability. And in Gotti's world, liabilities don't survive for long. Fans felt it immediately. This wasn't some random trip down memory lane. This was Stan G sending out a warning shot loud and clear. His message, watch your back.
Well, hell, at this point, because you lost all the his last artist is Glorilla. She doing crazy because he putting a crazy bag behind Glorilla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So Glorilla, she gonna shine regardless right now. But when he go over there and dealing with them Texas boys, them folk got hit up. Them folk got hit up everywhere he go to, like the Fed watching. You know what I'm talking about? He signed that boy over there, that boy ended up going to jail. So they watching that boy so close right.
He reminded everyone that what you throw out always comes spinning right back around. And the way Gotti's been moving lately, Blac Youngsta's so-called loyalty could be the exact thing that gets him crossed up and left in the dust. And here's where the whole situation really starts to shake the foundation of CMG. For a while, CMG looked untouchable. Yo Gotti had the dream roster. Moneybag Yo was stacking hit after hit. Blac Youngsta kept the label buzzing with his wild antics. And then Glorilla shot out of nowhere and turned into a star overnight. From the outside looking in, they gave off that picture-perfect vibe. Family winning together, moving as one, no cracks showing anywhere. But now? Moneybag's momentum slowed down heavy. Youngsta ain't got the same spark, and Gotti looks locked in only on Glorilla. And even she's under crazy pressure because right now she's basically the only one carrying CMG on her back.
The only reason I didn't do it, like I could have went over there and got with Gotti and got the co-signer and sped my whole process up. But at the same time, I couldn't do it because I had too much of my own money and too much of my own time invested into it. So it wouldn't have made sense for me. You see what I'm saying? And man, it's like, that's Memphis, bro. That town is too small. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, if anything, if he wanted to do something, I wanted to do something, bro, it's like, let's do it. That town is small. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to hear that.
It's just Memphis one of them cities like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you pay attention, it always been a artist at the city center. I'm the king of Memphis. I'm the king of Memphis. That's why it done been so hard for other artists to pop out and take off because everybody want to be that I. The big one is just me. You know what I mean?
What once felt like a squad moving as a unit now feels more like a game of survival. Who's really safe in this camp anymore? Then came the move that had everybody talking. Blac Youngsta suddenly wiped CMG out of his bio and started dropping captions that looked like low-key shots. Fans thought maybe he was just trolling again. Until Stan G came with his warning. That's when the whole vibe flipped. Suddenly it didn't feel like a joke anymore. it felt like something real was boiling under the surface. Now fans are watching CMG with a side eye. The unity ain't there no more. Every post feels shady, every move looks suspicious, and all that talk about loyalty just doesn't hit like it used to.
Hey man, y'all rich tell them bitch what it is, bro.
YPN shit, y'all fly niggas,
Look,
CMG
big.
shit, y'all rich niggas, every count shit.
Nah, I would never f them broke ass. Like, shit. When I was broke, why would I f them now they broke? It ain't my fault you broke. You are playing on me. I'm telling my mom. Ooh, I'm pregnant. Ooh, my shoe just fell out. Ooh, my head just fell out. Ooh.
The energy shifted and the tension is impossible to ignore. And to really get why things are so heated between Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta, you gotta rewind back to the young Dolph saga. That's the root of it all. Years back, Gotti tried to sign Dolph, but Dolph turned him down flat. From that moment, everything changed. Gotti didn't just move on, he allegedly started blocking Dolph at every turn. Yo Gotti thought he could slow Dolph's career down, but instead it backfired. Dolph only glowed brighter. That's when the beef turned deadly serious. Diss tracks flying, public shots getting thrown, and real street tension building. And guess who was right there on the front lines? Blac Youngsta. He wasn't just dropping tracks, he was pulling up to hoods, filming wild videos, and doing the type of reckless stunts most rappers wouldn't even think about doing.
For a long time, see, it's a long story behind Blac Youngsta. See, Blac Youngsta was hanging with one of Gotti enemies before he got with Gotti. Okay. So Blac Youngsta is somebody who just jump around for the money. He's just a send out. He one of the biggest send outs from Memphis. They're just keeping it real.
At the time, some fans thought it was just part of his image, but looking back, it was way too extreme. Even Stan G had to call it a federal move because Youngsta was putting himself in situations that could only drag heat back on him and the label. So when Dolph was gunned down in Memphis, all eyes instantly shifted to CMG. Now nothing's ever been proven against Gotti or Youngsta in Dolph's passing, but the streets already made up their mind. And once your name gets tied to something that heavy, that stain don't wash off. That's the shadow hanging over CMG today, and it's exactly why Blac Youngsta doesn't look like an asset anymore. He looks like a living reminder of a chapter the label can't escape.
I hate it's like that, cause bro, it's like, why if you so gangster, why the f you rapping? Why you ain't out there killing? You need to go do some murders, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're a killer, go kill shit. You right here on this stage for, you know what I'm saying? So I look at it like, so many people want to be rappers. And so many people I ain't no rapper, I'm a street. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much bullshit. So I had to wonder to myself, like, what the f am I? You know what I'm saying? All these people be lying like, they this and they that. But what, I had to really think like, what am I? And I'm like, I'm not a rapper. Because I like rapping, but I'm into my side, but I really like entertaining people.
There was a time when Youngsta was CMG's wild card, the one turning the energy all the way up. He had fans laughing online with crazy antics, flashing stacks of cash, and keeping CMG in the spotlight. Whenever Gotti needed the attention high, Youngsta was ready to play the role. He was seen as loyal, the artist who would ride for the team no matter what. But Stan G painted a much darker picture. In his eyes, Youngsta wasn't just loyal, he was being played. He flat out called him one of the biggest sendouts in Memphis, basically saying Gotti used Youngsta to do all the risky business and handle beefs he wouldn't touch himself.
You know, you come well regarded. I mean, Sean Jay-Z Carter speaks very highly of you, right? I mean, Steve Stout speaks very highly of you. You know, I can't find a person that says anything bad about Yo Gotti, and they always say how smart you are, how focused you are, and a lot to get into about your business personality and all.
And when you think about it, that description lines up perfectly with how the whole saga played out. Yo Gotti always played the calm, calculated boss, while Blac Youngsta was the one wilding out on camera, keeping all eyes glued to CMG. But that kind of setup never lasts forever. After Dolph's passing, those wild antics stopped looking entertaining and started looking flat out dangerous. Suddenly, instead of being CMG's spark, Youngsta turned into the one carrying all the baggage. Every diss, every graveyard stunt, every reckless move. People tied it all back to him. And now, he's gone quiet. Stan G even said Youngsta's in hide mode because the Dolph case is still hanging heavy over him. To the streets, that makes him look finished. And to Gotti, it makes him look like a liability. The kind of artist who could bring the wrong type of spotlight at the worst possible time. That's why the recent moves started looking suspicious. Blac Youngsta has gone viral more than once for taking CMG out of his bio and claiming he's independent. Usually, he circles right back around Gotti and nothing comes of it. But this time, it feels different. With all the tension in the air and Stan G's warning ringing, Youngsta started posting long emotional rants. And they didn't read like random thoughts. He went in on fake CEOs, fake big homies, and fake brothers, all labels that people have thrown at Gotti before. Then he doubled down, saying he was done with fake love, fake loyalty, and putting trust in the wrong people. If that's not a direct shot, then what else could it be? What really shook fans was the raw emotion dripping through those posts. Youngsta spoke on losing close friends, feeling isolated, and knowing money can't protect him if somebody really wants to touch him. That doesn't sound like a rapper trolling for clout. That sounds like a man who knows his life might be on the line. And the timing? Too perfect to ignore. Right when fans were already whispering that CMG was cracking apart, Youngsta himself basically confirmed that everything is not all good behind the scenes, even if he never dared to drop Gotti's name directly.
We, the jury, found the defendant, Hernandez Govan, not guilty in count 2 of the indictment.
It was said more than once as the 45-year-old was acquitted on both counts. Govan was unable to contain his excitement as he embraced his pro bono defense attorneys, but out of view were the supporters of young Dolph who were hoping Lady Justice would tip in their favor.
Everybody caught the message loud and clear. Now here's the thing. Yo Gotti has always carried himself like a mob boss. His very name comes from John Gotti, and he leans heavy into that mafia-style image. So when Blac Youngsta fired shots about fake CEOs, Gotti clapped back in his own way, with mafia-coded bars over Jay-Z's legendary Dynasty intro. It wasn't just music, it was a flex, a reminder of who really calls the shots inside CMG. And here's where it gets scary, because in a mob-style structure, breaking rank isn't just disrespect, it's betrayal. And betrayal in that world, it never ends clean. That's why the tension between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti really started spiraling after young Dolph's homicide. What was once whispers turned into something the whole city could feel. See, when Dolph got ended, the streets instantly pointed fingers at CMG. Even Gotti's own brother, Big Jook, was picked up and questioned by police. And more recently, the man accused of being the trigger, Hernandez Govan, just walked free after being acquitted. All of this had the spotlight burning on CMG, and the last thing Gotti needed was one of his own artists trolling about it. But that's exactly what Youngsta did. He went viral with a video shot at a cemetery, standing next to a headstone that carried Dolph's last name. Then he doubled down online, posting reckless content like he didn't care about the backlash one bit. To Youngsta, that was just him, reckless, loyal to CMG, riding no matter what. But to Gotti, it was a disaster. Bad for business, bad for the brand, and a dangerous look while the streets were already suspicious. Fans noticed the shift instantly. What once looked like ride or die loyalty now looked like recklessness that could sink the whole label. And from that moment on, the cracks between Gotti and Youngsta became impossible to hide. Like I said earlier, CMG ain't looking as strong as it once did. Moneybag. Yo's momentum slowed down heavy. 42 Doug got wrapped up in legal drama, and Blac Youngsta has gone dead silent. Even Stan G pointed out that Gotti can't move like he used to. Too much heat still hanging in the air after Dolph's passing. Right now, the only real star, let's be real. One artist can't hold an entire empire together, and fans know it. Instead of asking who's next to blow up, people are whispering, who's next to fall out? And this is where things get scary for Youngsta. Gotti's not just some rapper, he's plugged in deep. Stan G made it clear, Gotti has ties in high places. If he wants your career over, it's done. If he wants legal smoke on your name, that can pop off too. So when Blac Youngsta throws shade online, that's not just rebellion, it's risky. In Gotti's world, being labeled a liability doesn't just mean losing your slot on the label, it could mean losing everything. Let's be real. If Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta really lock horns, this won't be a simple rap beef. This could turn dark, fast. Because Gotti moves like the unofficial president of Memphis. He's got money, he's got influence, and he's got connections that stretch way beyond the studio. If things spill into the streets, it's not just rappers tossing diss tracks, it's families, friends, and entire crews that could get dragged into the chaos. But here's the twist. Blac Youngsta ain't the type to just fold or roll over. If it comes down to a battle, he's the kind of guy who'll stand his ground no matter the cost. Blac Youngsta is reckless, emotional, and unfiltered. He says whatever's on his mind, no matter the fallout. That makes him unpredictable, and when you mix that kind of wild energy with Gotti's cold, boss-like moves, that's a recipe for disaster. Fans are already on edge, bracing themselves. because nobody wants to witness another tragedy like what went down with Dolph. But now with Youngsta blasting fake CEOs and Stan G literally warning that Gotti could flip on him, the danger feels way too real. The writing on the wall is hard to miss. If this tension doesn't get fixed, CMG won't just lose one artist. It could lose the entire empire Gotti built. The real question isn't whether CMG is crumbling. That's already obvious. The real question is, how far is Gotti willing to go to keep control of his kingdom? Because if Stan G's warning holds weight, then Blac Youngsta might not just be dealing with rap beef. He could be standing on the edge of something much darker. So what do you think? Will Gotti protect his empire at any cost, or will Youngsta break free before it's too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And I'll catch you on the next one.